Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Coffin here for Coffin Comics. We are live here at San Diego Comic-Con 2022. And ladies and gentlemen, we have the one and only Eric Basaldua, E-Bass. How you doing, sir?
I'm happy. It's good to be here. Thank you guys for having me and hosting me. I'm very excited. It's San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah,
San
we're
Diego
back, baby.
Comic-Con. I wish you guys were all here. But those of you that couldn't make it, we're doing this exclusive interview. So it's good to be part of the Coffin crew and get to talk to all of you out there. So thank you, Coffin, for having me.
I'm super excited to talk to you. I haven't talked to you before on the show, and I'd like to know about how'd you get started in with art? When did you start?
Getting started in comics is a fun question. I've been getting that a lot in my career. I've been doing this about 22 years, and actually, believe it or not, the San Diego Comic-Con Artist Alley is where I got started. It was here at this show back in the year of 2000. So 22 years ago, I showed my work to Mr. Mark Silvestri and Michael Turner. I was sitting right next to him at the time. And I waited in his Artist Alley line for, I think, 2 or 3 hours because I was like towards the beginning of the line. And I was very excited to be there. I had my portfolio with me. My whole family was there, so my mom encouraged me to show my stuff. It was kind of like not the best thing to do when everyone else is waiting, but we brought out the art. He looked at it. Michael Turner was sitting there. They were whispering and looking at my stuff. And it was here at San Diego Comic-Con that I first got hired. And I've been a fan of comics my whole life. My dad liked comics. His brother liked comics. So I'm kind of like second generation, third generation comic fan. So it's been in my family, it's been in my blood. My dad drew comics. He actually collected Lady Death. He had the very first Lady Death statue that Clay Moore himself sculpted. Wow. He bought it from a long time ago. He was a big fan. He's got the leather edition, my dad. He's got the very first leather edition with that gold foil Stephen Hughes ink on there. So it was a dream come true to see it all come full circle. And I am working with Brian when we were fans, and I was like maybe I think 13 years old when I first saw my first Lady Death comic. I like it. So it's good to be back here where it all started.
So that answers my next question. When did you discover Lady Death? How did you and Brian PULIDO meet? How did you guys first meet?
Well, I mean, we got his signature since the beginning, since day one. And, we see him like at local shows all around before when he lived here. I believe he lived in California before he went to Arizona. So, I first met him when I was, 13 years old, Like I said, my dad was a huge fan. So it was through him that I actually was introduced to the Lady Death universe. And actually had Brian send me one of the toys that was based off of my sculpture, and I was actually able to give it to my dad. Oh, wow. And say, hey, look, Pops, your son has now been part of this universe. So it was really great to present him with that action figure statue toy. Brian signed it for me, and it was great for him to see me as a fan. And now to be working together, it's been really great. But I believe I was 13, man, a long time ago.
Hey, you got some fans right here that want you to sign some stuff. Why don't we take a break here and do that?
Woo! All right. Out of the park! Did you guys want an autograph? Yes, sir. All right. This is what it's like, Facebook. This is what it's like. All right. First, you got to test the pen, make sure the ink will flow. Boom, it's ready to go. Bye. This is one of my covers that I did for Zenoscope, and this was Robin Hood, and she's on a sea boat, a yacht, and she's the sea captain. So we're going to go ahead and sign it right at the top. Never on the art.
Never on the art.
Never
That's
on the art.
Pro tip for you aspiring artists. And why blue? And why not black or any other color?
I think the blue really catches the eye very well. I don't like to sign in black because it sometimes I think fades into the art a little bit too much. So the blue really pops. And this is all black, so like it could be like mistaken as part of the art, but I believe when it is in blue, it really just stands out really well. And some people do sign right on the body, right on the art, and it just hurts. I don't know why people do it, but like right up at the top, it really frames it really well together. Thank you so much.
As you did it with the blue, I was actually thinking the exact same thing. It looks really good with the blue versus the black.
I think it really pops. I think it really catches the eye. And if you have any money left over, it's only $25. You can get the Lady Death sheer 90 version. So think about it.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it. Ready? We got more.
Oh,
we got
yeah.
more.
Life is, Eric Basaldua is very busy.
Whoa, you know, I go to the gym and I do these signing exercises, you know, rotate clockwise, counterclockwise. You do about 50 each turn, and then you'll be ready. You'll be ready. But while we wait, you gotta hydrate.
Pro tip, folks. Pro tip from the man himself. So what did you come up with the catch phrase "go ass"?
Go ass. It actually came from I'm an underdog. I'm a lefty. I've always been a little bit of a little bit quirky. So when I found out that at the time that I looked up the statistic, or not looked it up, but heard that 75% of all males are more like booby fans, and I naturally loved the ass, especially in a thong, a nice little thong. I was really young, and I think I'm maybe 16 when I first saw it. Instantly fell in love, and ever since then I've been fighting the good fight of the ass over the boobs. Though I try my best to always support the underdog, and I always shout "go ass." It kind of just started as like a sign-off. Every time I do a post, and it became a thing, people will walk by and just shout "go ass," and it just became a thing. But I love the gospel of the ass, a nice sexy one. It's not exclusive to women. Guys can go ass, old people can go ass, everybody can go ass. So it is the underdog. The ass has always been the underdog. It's always the boobs. Look, let me show you. What do people want to see? That one and that one, these right here. And as often as I can, I try to flip her around so you can see the booty. And then I go ass. But if I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't sell as good as the boobies. You can't compete with these. They give life. They feed life.
That is true. That is so true.
So that's where Go Ass started. It's become a thing. I've actually thought of designing a logo, like kind of like a girl leaning a little bit, not a girl, just an ass. And then like wind streaks behind, so it's Go Ass. So I've been thinking about it for a long time. I hope I get a chance to actually draw it.
Can't wait to see that come to fruition. What can you tell us about these San Diego Comic-Con exclusives that you've done here for Coffin Comics?
All right. Well, actually, I didn't know it was going to be the exclusive until about a week ago. So I had drawn this piece as a commissioned drawing at the Seattle Comic Con last Seattle Comic Con. And I posted it online. Everybody really, really liked the piece. So I think Brian PULIDO was tagged on the drawing. So when he saw it, we all talked about it, and we decided to recreate it for a cover, because the original piece that I had drawn, she was fully nude. And it looked like this. It was fully nude, so I had to recreate it and add a little bit of that. And thanks to all of you guys wanting it so much. Are these getting graded? Are they getting graded?
No.
Oh, these are.
Oh, I think they're trying to look at
Oh, they're looking at. Oh, sorry. And look who's here. It's Jesse James.
Yep, what's going on, guys? Hanging out. Coffin Comics, San Diego Comic Con with my good friend Ebass. I've known Ebass for, 10, 12 years. He's done about 7, 8 covers for me. Great guy. Support him. Support PULIDO. Up the irons and up PULIDO. So,
Oh, hell yeah.
yep.
You're good at that.
You don't know who you're going to bump into here at San Diego Comic-Con.
That's true. You're good at that too. What is the booth number? What booth are we?
5530.
5530, everybody.
Yeah, when this comes out, though, it's going to be over with. But this is the same booth that Brian has every year, so make sure to come by next
There you
year
go.
for sure.
And what's great about this booth is custom chairs. I think when you see someone have custom chairs, they have hit the top peak of a convention. I mean, just awesome chairs.
and here they
Look
are.
at these chairs.
Holler at your boy. Who else has got these? Who else
That's
has
what it's
got
all about.
Should be like a necklace. What's up? What's up? Flavor Flav ain't got nothing on BP.
I know, Jesus.
The paparazzi's here today at San Diego Comic-Con.
Excellent.
If you don't get a picture, it did not happen. So you got a picture to document
Did
everything.
happen.
Right.
Those are extra sweet, aren't they?
Yep.
Okay, let's get back to it.
I love it.
So good.
So let's talk about the process of as an artist. How do you go from concept to completion?
That's actually a really good question. I have a perfect example here. I had drawn a cover for the La Muerta Kickstarter that happened a little bit ago, and I happen to have the original art to the what I call thumbnail or study to that cover, and I believe it was the first Kickstarter to break 200 grand. So it was really nice to be part of that one. I believe Joe Gomez drew the interiors, and what I have here is the cover study. I'll hold that up. You can see it. Yeah, get a nice close up in there, get some of the zoom action going, and maybe we could do like a top to bottom, pan in and out. So I draw on 12, no, I'm sorry, 9x12 bristle board, and there's two different kinds. There's the smooth and there's the vellum. This is the vellum, so it's got a little bit of a rougher texture on there. It's got a little bit of like a canvas type of feel. I prefer the smooth, but I drew this one on the vellum. And the reason why it's so good for a lot of people, artists prefer it because the ink, it sits really well on there, it blends really well on there. Watercolor actually work really well on here. A lot of Copic marker works really well on here. They blend and bleed together really well. And if you look closer here on her legs, let me move my hand out of the way. On the legs, you can see that it is all grayscale, and it is done with Copic marker, the Japanese refillable markers. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about the process. So what I like to do is take a little thumbnail. I draw it about as big as a thumbnail, like I don't know, like right in there. I'll do like a little tiny idea, and when that idea is, I think set, I like to take it and blow it up and draw a little bit of the detail, iron out any kind of mistakes or doubts that I have. I work out the proportions on there, the composition and everything. So when I'm done with this, then I take it and I blow it up to 11x17. But first I flip it over, and then I print it out, and then I blow it up. So when I flip it over, what I thought I saw on here sometimes doesn't reveal itself till I flip it over. So like I take that, I'm looking at it almost for the first time with the third eye, and so after I flip it over, then I'll transfer it. And that's pretty much my process. So you guys got to see a little bit firsthand.
Well, let's see. We got the final product right here.
Oh, we got the final product. He's handing it to me. Here we go. Oh, we can actually see it before and after. Here we go. So you guys can see what I mean. I flipped it over, and I was able to see everything for the first time, and you got a little bit of before and after here.
So did Brian give you any art direction on this, or was there?
You know what he did, and with this one I forgot to mention that this jungle cat has actually never been drawn with her before. And there's a movie actually with Madonna, and it's called Who's That Girl? Actually, I think that movie maybe inspired me to do this because the rich guy that got married to Madonna in the end of the movie, I believe his dad or somebody in the movie had like a wild jungle cat. You know, very rich, but he had this like rooftop zoo, and he had all these wild animals in there. So I'm like, you know what? If you're gonna be like a serious gangster, a rich gangster, you're gonna have an exotic animal.
Hell yeah.
And I asked Brian, like, do you mind if I draw a jaguar on the cover? you know, and he actually liked the idea. We gave her a diamond necklace, I believe, or a studded necklace, to try to make the cat look even more exotic. So I was very grateful that he was able to allow me to put that in there, and I think that it took Muerta to another level of prestige, you know. And so she's got her gold-plated gun, you know. She's got her wild exotic cat that could just rip you to shreds, and I think that it really helped make her seem a little bit more badass. So I was very grateful that I was able to do that on the cover, and I hope you guys like it. There's two different versions. There's the white cat version, and there's the original leopard skin color or jaguar.
I think
skin
there
color.
might actually be in that set right there.
All right, let's see if it's in here. What do you guys think? Yes? No?
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
So were you given instructions by Brian, like I need Lamorta sitting there with something, or is this just like, was it more general instruction and you just ran with it on your?
A lot of people give me complete freedom to do what I like. Brian sometimes will have something in mind, like when I drew this one. When I drew this one here, this was actually all Brian's idea. If we zoom in on the boobies, they were specifically asked, and I can't believe it wasn't my idea. But Brian said, hey, if we could have a wargasm. This is part of the wargasm
Yeah.
Kickstarter, and that one was Brian's idea. He wanted the boob grab. I jumped at the chance to draw something like that. Lady Death with her boobs being grabbed. I mean,
You don't see that often.
you don't see that every day.
Because Lady
And
Death's usually not in that submissive type of role, so this is, you got to draw that something very unique.
I did, and like I said, I couldn't believe that it was Lady Death with her boobs being grabbed. To get this set was $900 on Kickstarter. So, like, for it to be that in demand, to sell for that price, I was just very honored to be a part of it. And honestly, I was really scared that Brian might not like it. Like, I was hoping that it would be good enough. So he liked it. It was approved, and I'm happy. The rest is history. You guys absolutely loved the book. I think there was only 66 copies made of that book, and I believe they all sold out. So, on top of my artist proof edition. So he printed even more of those, and they still went for a crazy amount of money. Thank you, Coffin fans, for supporting such ridiculously priced books. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
And what do you do with your artist proofs? Do you sell them at cons? Or you just hold on to them, or what's your philosophy with that?
I personally keep one copy of all of them. All artist proofs with the number one, they all belong to me. They go to my personal collection. I keep them in the vaults. Maybe time out. 1 second. Hey,
Oh, we got another.
are you waiting for me?
I am, but
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Oh no, we can
We're
take a
back
break.
in action.
Yeah, let's do
Here we
it.
go. I
This is
didn't
how
see
a
you
real
there.
professional.
All right, what do we got? We zoom in. We got the naughty edition of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. And
gorgeous.
let's put a Hancock on there. All right, let's
do it.
this. Are you having a good time at the show?
I am.
Oh man, did you see this online, or are you seeing it for the first time?
I saw it when I walked past.
And it stopped you in your
It
tracks?
did, you know what?
This image stopped him in his tracks.
That's what it was. That's what
He
it
had
was.
to have it. You had to
I
have it.
had to have it. I
He
saw
had
it.
to have it.
Not
Oh,
only is
man.
it purple, but you know, there's Nurple too.
Yeah, purple Norpals, man.
The purple nurple stops you in the track every time.
So if you don't mind me talking to the camera for a second.
Sure, go ahead.
Part of one of the things that I try to do as my job is to make sure that in that moment you see all of this other stuff. This is the spectacle of San Diego Comic-Con. Everybody's walking by. You only have so much money. I try to stop somebody in their tracks when they look at an image. Dude, what can I do to get them to stop? Don't walk away. You must have it. Thank you so much, man.
Hey man, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. I think I did it. I
You
think it
did.
worked.
You did.
Yeah.
Great job.
I appreciate it. Man.
Thank you for the Hancock.
Thank you. Hancock.
There you go.
Wow, it's getting really raunchy at this family show. I didn't even say that. The customer said that.
score.
So that's a great philosophy. So talking to new artists, how do you judge that for? So is that why you flip those images over to look at it a different way to see if it's like, is that a showstopper? Or?
Um, when I flip an image over, it's mostly for proportions. There's sometimes when you design something and you're used to drawing like a face a certain way, like if you're right-handed, the faces are usually facing left. Sometimes when you draw a face facing the other way, your brain is not as good as, it didn't learn it as well as the other way. So sometimes when you flip it over, you see something for the first time and it's a little off because you're just not as used to drawing it facing in that direction. So that's usually what that's for.
And how do you keep pushing yourself to do better and better? Do you compare yourself to other people, or do you compare yourself to the past? What's your philosophy on that?
That's actually a really good question. To try to keep myself like at that competitive level, I try my best not to let, and I think this is very important, and I'm talking to all professional artists out there, all aspiring artists. I feel that you have to keep your ego. Yeah, keep it in check. Don't ever let your head like blow up. Don't ever be like those famous people in Hollywood where they think they're the absolute, I don't know if I can curse or not,
Yeah,
but they think they're the shit, and they just become so full of themselves, and I believe that's really bad for business. It's bad for the fans, because a fan doesn't ever want to be a fan for a year. They don't want to be a fan for 5 years. They want to follow you to the end. Look at Tom Cruise. People have been following him. He could come back and make Top Gun Part 2 like 20 years later, and they're still there. They're a fan. They're watching his stuff. They want to be a fan forever. So I think in order to have that kind of staying power, you have to think and be responsible to the fans. Don't get drunk like I did back in my day and just fuck out and forget what's important. So like if you remember the fans, be responsible and be sure to be able to produce work at a fresh type of level, at a consistent level for year in, year out, decade in, decade out. I think that's a good way to try to keep everything on a competitive level. So that's what I try to do in my mind. I'm still a fan. I collect comic books still. I have sets. I bought exclusives. Walking into the show, I paid the cash. I support, and if you keep that hunger inside of you, you're always going to run into new talent, And, do you remember the time Mike DeBalfo or Don McShay came on to the scene for the first time? Like, they're the new blood, and old veterans tend to not look at new blood. They're so set in their ways, but when you look at that new blood, you get inspired by something that is new and is fresh. So again, keeping your ego in check, I think that it's a good way to be able to be humble enough to look at new talent, new work, new ideas, new styles, and let that inspire you. So I try to do that as well.
And going back to that La Muerta cover, I heard that you knew Joel Gomez, the series illustrator, from back in the day. How did you and Joel meet?
Did you overhear that? How
Yeah.
did you know? He was like, I was there. Me and Joel go way back. Joel Gomez and his wife, Beth. Beth actually colored my very first fully drawn, full issue, fully done by me. Like, she colored it she colored all my first original stuff and most of my career, Top Cow. And I actually used to stay over at their place. We'd hang out for like 3 days at a time. His apartment I think it was a 2-bedroom apartment that he split with another artist from back in the day. And we go all the way back to Top Cow, where he drew for Michael Turner and Jim Lee, and I drew for Mark Silvestri and Michael Turner. And it's crazy that I think if I join you guys for dinner, he's going to be there, and Beth is going to be there, and we go way back. It's really amazing to see us. Like, we started out, I was 19 years old when I met Joel, and years ago. So it's really great to be able to sign the same book together. Me and him can sign La Muerta, and it's just amazing. We go way back.
Well, any final words you want to say out there for Sworn Nations and the Fiends?
I feel that this is just the beginning for eBass and Coffin Comics, and I want to be able to say that we're trying to have new and fresh ideas for you guys all the time, and I enjoy all the fans that come buy my AP editions. I like the excitement that you guys have, and it inspires me to want to offer to be there for Coffin to draw as many covers that they will have, and we actually just spawned a new one right here today, earlier today, and I think I can show you
Oh yeah, sneak peek,
a
folks.
little sneak peek of a up and coming future Lady Death cover, and we're going to put this up.
Beautiful.
It is revealed for the first time
Beautiful.
here at San Diego Comic-Con, and I drew this kind of like on a whim, and I was hoping that a lucky fan would like it. Someone did pick up the original. I showed it to Brian, and I'm like, Brian, let's keep the magic happening. We did a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Let's do the next one. And Brian saw it for the first time. He really liked it, and it was birthed here today as a 2022 San Diego Comic-Con. So I want to tell you guys that I feel this is just the beginning. I feel it's just the beginning. I want to do tons more work with Coffin Comics. So I want to tell you guys, get your wallets. Always have some money left over and reserved for the eBass exclusives. Thank you guys for watching. Sworn.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. You're such a wonderful person. It's so great that Brian always attracts amazing people, as long as not only just artists, but people themselves are just killer, just like you are. So thank you so much, Ebas.
It's a pleasure, guys. Thank you so much.
Enjoy the rest of your con. Yeah! All right, 25 minutes.